Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. Deadgummit. Couldn't sleep. Yeah, I slept an hour or so, woke up. You know the drill. I went ahead and did a little Google search here so that I could do some reading to you. I'm a little rough right now, so bear with me. I don't understand they gave me antibiotics for the pneumonia. Boy, I could breathe good while I was on the antibiotics. I took them as long as I was supposed to. They're gone. Now I'm having breathing issues. What in the world is antibiotics got to do with my lungs? I ain't got a clue. But I'll deal with it. Y'all either deal with it or you turn the video off. Up to you. I want to read to you about the first Thanksgiving. Now, I got this from the National Geographic Kids Edition, and it's called First Thanksgiving. On the fourth Thursday of November, Americans celebrate Thanksgiving, a national holiday honoring the early settlers and their harvest feast known as the First Thanksgiving. Native Americans. Long before settlers came to the East Coast of the United States, the area was inhabited by many Native American tribes. And I'll tell you now, we're going to get into some names and stuff like that this old hillbilly has trouble with. I wish that shit would just break up and come on up. Damn. Let's see. The area surrounding the site of the first Thanksgiving, now known as southeastern Massachusetts and eastern Rhode Island, had been the home of the Wampanoag people for over 12,000 years, and had been visited by other European settlers before the arrival of the Mayflower. The native people knew the land well and had fished, hunted, and harvested for thousands of generations. The settlers. The people who comprised the Plymouth colony were a group of English Protestants who wanted to break away from the Church of England. These separatists initially moved to Holland, and after 12 years of financial problems, they received funding from English merchants to sail across the Atlantic to settle in a new world. A ship carrying 101 men, women, and children spent 66 days traveling the Atlantic Ocean, intending to land where New York City is now. Due to windy conditions, the group had to cut their trip short and settle at what is now called Cape Cod. Settling and exploring. I'm sorry about the sound effects and stuff, but as the Puritans prepared for winter, they gathered anything they could find, including Wampanga supplies. One day, Samoset, a leader of the Amnica and Tisquantra, better known as Squato, visited the settlers. Squato was a Winnipeg who had experience with other settlers and knew English. Squato helped the settlers grow corn and used fish to fertilize their field. After several meetings, a formal agreement was made between the settlers and the native people, and they joined together to protect each other from other tribes in March of 1621. The celebration. One day that fall, 4 settlers were sent to hunt for food for a harvest celebration. The Wampanga heard the shots and alerted their leader, Massanet, who thought the English might be preparing for war. Massanet visited the English settlement with 90 of his men to see if the war rumor was true. Soon after the visit, the Native Americans realized that the English were only hunting for the harvest celebration. Massanet sent some of his own men to hunt deer for the feast, and for 3 days, for 3 days, the English and the native men, women, and children ate together. The meal consisted of deer, corn, shellfish, roasted meat, far from today's traditional Thanksgiving dinner. Although prayers and thanks were probably offered at the 1621 harvest gathering, the first recorded religious Thanksgiving Day in Plymouth happened 2 years later in 1623. On this occasion, the colonists gave thanks to God for rain after a 2-month drought. The myths. Believe it or not, the settlers did not have silver buckles on their shoes, nor did they wear somber black clothing. Their attire was actually bright and cheerful. Many portrayals of the harvest celebration also show the Native Americans wearing woven blankets on their shoulders and large feathered headdresses, which is not true. The Englishmen didn't even call themselves pilgrims. They played ball games, sang, and danced. Much of what most modern Americans eat on Thanksgiving was not available in 1621. Native Americans and Thanksgiving. The peace between the Native Americans and settlers lasted for only a generation. The Wampanoag people do not share in the popular reference for the traditional New England Thanksgiving. For them, the holiday is a reminder of betrayal and bloodshed. Since 1970, many Native people have gathered at the statue of Massanet in Plymouth, Massachusetts each Thanksgiving to remember their ancestors and the strength of the Winnipeg. Modern Thanksgiving. In the 19th century, the modern Thanksgiving holiday started to take shape. In 1846, Sarah Josephine Hale, editor of a magazine called Godley's Ladies' Book, campaigned for an annual national Thanksgiving holiday after a passage about the harvest gathering of 1621 was discovered and incorrectly labeled as the first Thanksgiving. It wasn't until 1863 when President Abraham Lincoln declared two national Thanksgivings, one in August to commemorate the Battle of Gettysburg and the other in November to give thanks for general blessings. And that's the end of that, but it says, learn more about modern Thanksgiving traditions. Let's see what they say. Okay, so that was it for the true first one. Hopefully you learned something. This is Thanksgiving traditions. I'm sure it's going to take a little bit different path, and it ain't got nothing to do with the original. Each year, Americans in the United States celebrate Thanksgiving holiday on the fourth Thursday of November. Most families follow traditions begun on the first Thanksgiving, but many have their own traditions that they follow each year. Here are some of the common traditions associated with Turkey Day. Travel. One of the best things about Thanksgiving is spending time with family. Many people live far from family members and travel long distances by cars, trains, or planes to be with their loved ones. Thanksgiving is the busiest travel day of the year. The feast. Traditional foods are a large part of Thanksgiving celebrations. Many families include the entire family in the food preparation. Traditional foods include turkey, stuffing, gravy, sweet potatoes, cornbread, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce. Many people serve pie for dessert at the end of the meal. Popular pie flavors are pumpkin, pecan, sweet potato, and apple. Vegetarian foods. Some families choose to serve vegetarian Thanksgiving dinners. I don't know who that would be. Instead of a stuffed turkey. Some people eat vegetarian turkey, which is made out of tofu. Others prefer to eat squash, salads, or other fruits and vegetable dishes. Kind of takes away from it all to me, don't it? The wishbone. Some families include breaking the turkey's wishbone as part of their celebration. The wishbone is found attached to the breast meat in the turkey's chest. After the meat has been removed and the wishbone has had a chance to become dry and brittle, two people each take one end of the wishbone, make a wish, and pull. Whoever ends up with a larger part of the bone gets their wish. And I guess that was that. Oh, the turkey parted. Each year at Thanksgiving, the President of the United States receives a gift of a live turkey, along with the alternation in case something happens to the official turkey. At the White House ceremony, the President traditionally pardons the national Thanksgiving turkey and the alternate turkeys, allowing them to live out the rest of their lives on a farm. Helping others. Many generous folks use Thanksgiving as an opportunity to help the less fortunate. Some people volunteer to serve food at homeless shelters on Thanksgiving Day, and others donate to shelters or participate in canned food drives. TV. Television also plays a part in Thanksgiving celebrations. Many families watch the New York City's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The parade includes marching bands, floats, songs, and performances from Broadway musicals and giant helium-filled balloons. People may also enjoy television football games. I always did enjoy watching the parade on TV. After the meal. After the feast, families often do additional activities. Some like to take walks after eating such a large meal. Some people take naps. Others sit down together to play board or card games. Fast facts. A ripe cranberry will bounce. Okay. All turkeys and chickens have wishbones. Yeah. Canadians celebrate their own Thanksgiving each October. Abraham Lincoln declared a national day of Thanksgiving in 1863. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was held in 1924. And is that it? That looks like that's it. Well, there you go, folks. There's a little bit of something for you about Thanksgiving. Share it with the younger generations, and let's keep it alive. Keep it alive and going. Hey, remember, God loves you. So do I. If y'all are out there traveling this Thanksgiving, please be careful. Be extremely cautious of the other person. I'm out here traveling all the time, and I'm out here traveling now. And I guarantee you, the people are not paying attention to you. We have people that are texting, talking, watching TV, and all kinds of stuff. So each of us need to be on extra alert. We have to pay attention for the others that are not paying attention. One of the things that I tell young drivers, truck drivers, is that it is our job to be able to predict stupid. I'm not saying that trying to be mean. I am saying it to be honest, and I encourage each and every one of you to learn how to predict stupid. That means that you are not distracted and that you are watching as far as you can see all around you. Watch as far, we call it getting a big picture. When you watch as far forward as you can see, watch those cars up there. A lot of times you can see when there's fixing to be something happening, and you can slow down for it before you get to it. A lot of times you'll see it happening on the hill a mile ahead of you, and you will already know you need to be slowing down. Everybody else will wait till the last second because they're not getting the big picture, and they slam their brakes on at the last second. That's what causes wrecks. If you watch your mirrors, watch the traffic behind you. A lot of times you can see that hot rod, the one that's trying to work their way up through the crowd because they're in such a hurry, because they're important. A lot of times you see them coming up behind you. When you do, give them all kinds of room, let them go. When you have cars coming on or off the highway and they are trying to force the right of way because they're in such a hurry, let them force it. Let them go. Back out of it. Give them room. Let them go. The little bit of time that you lose from being courteous and letting these uncourteous people go, it can mean the difference between you actually arriving there or not. It can actually be the difference between you arriving there alive or not. So please, just be thankful that you have a day of travel, and let the pulls go. You need to be a very defensive driver and protect you and their precious cargo that you're hauling with you. Do not fall into the race trap. This is not a NASCAR deal, and there is no prize money if you get to Grandma's house first. So please be extremely careful and watch out for all the other people out there. Remember, God loves you and so do I. Please have a blessed, peaceful, safe Thanksgiving holiday. Good night.